Hey Theater Inspires, welcome to Make It Sparkle, a series to get ideas and inspiration for your theater and dance shows. This video is about the stage version of Clue, and it features Katie Cross. Katie has spent 25 years in theater and the last 10 as an educator. She's directed shows like Moby Dick, Peter and the Starcatcher, and Midsummer Night's Dream. Katie is a passionate theater director and an incredible resource for those looking to take their program to the next level. Hope you enjoy this and get some fresh ideas.
We really played with this idea of any time that we could represent the character's color, or I called it like aura, that was often. So when we first introduced each character, Colonel Mustard, bam, there's yellow. Professor Plum, bam, there's purple. Like Madam White, we had like a really stark white coming up on the set. And so I wanted that to be a consistent theme throughout the show. Anytime there's something important or a big discovery, let's highlight who's doing it, just to give a little bit of flair. It was also important to me, you know, in a black box setting, there's 9 different locations in this mansion. We have to, how is that going to work? How are we going to make this space work? And so what I did do is I pulled pictures of the board game. And I actually gave it to my setting designer, and I talked there with my lighting designer, and I was like, I want it to feel like the board game. So let's look at the furniture. Let's look, do we have windows? You know, we know it's nighttime the whole time. So what rooms are we gonna have moonlight versus conventional lighting? Is there just a lamp? So that was something that we also had to really look at, is how are you gonna make each location feel different? So we did that with, you know, intensity. We did that with different color schemes. We did that from beam angles. That was probably the easiest thing for me to do. Is great if it's coming from downstage left area or like area 1, because it was almost in the round kind of. Great, that's going to be the study. And then if we switch it, it's the kitchen. It's coming from the other side, just so the atmosphere we get that we're in a different room. And that's how we utilize lighting. There's a lot of blackouts. There's a lot of action that happens in blackouts. So that was a safety thing that we definitely like covered a lot. And because set pieces come in, weapons come in, people drop dead in those blackouts, we had to, obviously we practiced that in like full light. So we knew our pattern, we knew what needed to happen. There was a big handoff where I had a gun had to go off stage, and we had to make sure that that was done safely and that, you know, nobody noticed what was happening. And so that was really important, and really important for the tech team as well. We took some creative liberty to give some cues as to, okay, this action is happening now. We know the lights are gonna come up at a certain time. So it felt safe, and so yeah, lots of blackouts, but lots of fun things happening in those blackouts. So we had a thrust. So ultimately, I had the upstage part of the stage was the main entrance in the hall, and that's where you saw people come in, and that's where a lot of the ending of the show happens, is in the Great Hall. What I did to establish the set, I kind of talked about this earlier, was I looked at the board game and I said, what are the important pieces of furniture that I need? Put them on wheels. And then, so each scene had about 2 to 3 pieces of furniture. We established from the beginning that the characters are gonna move the set pieces. So the audience, it's so exposed. I was like, I'm not gonna fight this. We're all just gonna embrace it. And that was very helpful for the show in a black box space. Like, we're gonna embrace the fact that you're gonna see someone die, and then they're gonna get up, and then they're gonna move a chair off stage, because I don't have anybody else to do it. There's great door, like, farce action that happens as well. So what we did is we got doors on rolling platforms, and one side of the door was the kitchen refrigerator door, the other side was the billiard door. And so with that, we established it, and with the dialogue, and we just accepted, like, oh, okay, now we're in a hallway, or now we're in the library. And so we just had a lot of moving set pieces. We got also, like, a safety thing to remember is there's a lot of people that fall onto furnitures, dead bodies or people fainting or tripping or whatnot. So putting things on wheels, I had a lot of people act as spotters that weren't in the main action to like hold the furniture. So when we do put a dead body, it doesn't like, obviously you can put brakes on furniture. We just didn't have the time. It was short, like we didn't have much time, but we made it work and it was really helpful. And then that's kind of how we did it. And being able to look at the board game and really map out, okay, this is how the kitchen's gonna look versus this. And with the lighting, it worked. And it was really, really, I think, effective for doing it in this space. I mean, obviously on a main stage, it would be, I would say probably more work, but it's easier to establish those different rooms because you do have more space and you've got a proscenium and you can hide a lot of things and do a lot of cool like trapdoors. But I tell a lot of people, I'm like, if I can do this in a black box, you can do it anywhere because this show is like intense. So, but yeah, that's how we did the set and it was really great. And I had an amazing stage manager that was moving furniture where it needed to be. And we had the essential, we had a billiard table that was necessary. We had the chandelier bit with chandelier falls. We had that, anything to make, and then, like I said, the pieces of furniture, we didn't really double them in rooms, but we were able to just pull on a desk or pull on a chair. And we were like, oh, this is a different space. So that was helpful. And again, established that from the beginning and the audience was like, okay, this is how this space looks and feels and how it works.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've done Clue on stage and have ideas or tips to help other directors make their show a success, be sure to include it in the comments below.